Deuteronomy is a book of memory. It's a book of looking back before moving forward. Imagine Moses, his beard long and his eyes full of a lifetime of wisdom. He stands before God's people on the edge of a great promise. They have wandered for 40 years. They have seen miracles in the desert sand. They have learned to depend on God for their daily bread. Now, a new land awaits them, a land flowing with milk and honey. But this land is not empty. It holds challenges. It holds giants and walled cities. Moses knows he will not cross the Jordan River with them. So he gives them this long, heartfelt sermon. It is a final reminder. Remember God's faithfulness. Remember His laws. Remember who you are and who He is. This book is a parent's last loving instruction before sending a child out into the world. Chapter 20 of Deuteronomy opens with a scene that would have made any heart beat faster. The call to war. Imagine the dust, the clanging of swords, the nervous energy rippling through the camp. War was a harsh reality for the Israelites as they prepared to enter Canaan. They were not a nation of trained soldiers. The armies they would face were often bigger, better equipped, and more experienced. Fear would have been a natural, powerful emotion. It could have paralyzed them. God knew this. He understood the tremor in their souls. The instructions begin not with the captain of the army, but with the priest. Before any military commander gives an order, a man of God steps forward. He is to say, "Do not be faint-hearted or afraid. Do not be terrified or give way to panic before them." Why? Because the battle is not theirs alone. For the Lord your God is the one who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies to give you victory. God doesn't just command His people to be brave, He gives them reasons to be brave. True courage is not the absence of fear. True courage is acting in spite of fear because you are holding on to a greater truth. The priest's words were the foundation of this courage. The promise of God's presence was the rock upon which they could stand firm when the ground shook. Courage wasn't about puffing out their chests and pretending they weren't scared. It was about admitting their fear and then looking to God. It was a transfer of trust, from their own fragile abilities to His infinite power. Every soldier was called to make this personal choice, to believe that the God who parted the Red Sea could also win this battle. That is the source of all true, lasting courage. This chapter teaches us that faith is the fuel for courage. Without faith, courage is just a fleeting emotion. It is a temporary burst of adrenaline that quickly fades when the odds seem too great. This changes the soldier's perspective from, "I have to win this fight," to, "God will win this fight through me." It lifts an impossible burden from their shoulders. It allows them to fight with freedom and confidence, knowing that the ultimate result rests in mightier hands. This message is for us right now. We all need courage. The courage to start a new business. The courage to have a difficult conversation. The courage to forgive someone who has hurt us deeply. After building their courage, God does something remarkable. He provides a way out for those who are not ready for the fight. The officers are instructed to speak to the army. They are to send home anyone who has just built a new house but not dedicated it. Anyone who has planted a vineyard but not yet enjoyed its fruit. Anyone who has pledged to be married but has not yet taken his bride. This is astonishing. In a time of war, when every soldier counts, God prioritizes the personal milestones of His people. He cares about the joy of a new home. He cares about the satisfaction of a first harvest. He cares about the sacred union of marriage. He is not a taskmaster who uses people for his own ends. He's a loving Father who cherishes their lives and their happiness. This reveals the heart of God. He values life. He values family. Then comes the most compassionate exemption of all. The officers are to ask, "Is anyone afraid and faint-hearted? Let him go home so that his brothers will not become disheartened too." God makes space for fear. He does not shame the fearful. He provides a graceful exit. He understands that fear is contagious. So, in an act of profound wisdom and mercy, He protects both the fearful man and his comrades. This is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of incredible emotional intelligence and communal care. What can we learn from this? We learn that God meets us where we are. Are we creating space for people who are struggling? Do we offer grace to those who are faint-hearted? God's example calls us to be a people of compassion. Even in the grim reality of war, God establishes rules. The instructions are clear. When they approach a city to attack it, the first step is to offer terms of peace. This is a radical idea. Before a single arrow is fired, before any blood is shed, the door to peace must be opened. This demonstrates that war is a last resort, not a first impulse. God's desire is not for destruction, but for resolution. He is giving the enemy a chance to surrender, to submit, and to live. This offer of peace is an act of mercy. It is a reflection of God's own character. He is slow to anger and abounding in love. But the chapter also includes a law about protecting the environment. Even in a siege, they were not to cut down fruit trees. Are the trees of the field human, that you should besiege them? This amazing command shows God's care for his creation. These ancient rules speak volumes to us today. They call us to seek peace whenever possible in our conflicts. The command to offer peace challenges us to see the humanity in those who oppose us. It is easy to read a chapter like Deuteronomy 20 and think it is only about ancient history. But if we listen closely, we can hear the whispers of timeless wisdom. These lessons are profoundly relevant to the challenges we face every day in our modern world. The battlefields have changed, but the struggles of the human heart have not. We still fight against fear. This is a command for the person facing a terrifying medical report. The solution then is the solution now. Remember that the Lord your God is with you. Facing our modern fears begins with this spiritual realignment. It means turning our attention from the size of our problem to the greatness of our God. This is not a denial of the problem. It is a declaration that the problem does not have the final word. God does. In our fast-paced, high-pressure world, we often celebrate burnout. Deuteronomy 20 calls us to a better way. It tells a manager to be mindful of the new parent on their team. It tells a church leader to show grace to the member who is struggling with fear and doubt. And what about the rules of engagement? The call to offer peace first is a powerful guide for our polarized world. In an age of angry social media posts and divided families, this principle is revolutionary. As we close the pages of this ancient chapter, its message should not remain on the parchment. It is meant to be brought home, into our hearts, our houses, and our daily routines. Deuteronomy 20 is more than a historical account of warfare. It is a spiritual manual for the art of living. It reminds us that our greatest battles are often fought within our own minds. The chapter's enduring relevance lies in its simple, powerful sequence. First, anchor yourself in God's presence. Second, from that place of security, find your courage. A courage that is not cocky or arrogant but is rooted in deep trust. Third, practice compassion, for yourself and for others. Make space for joy and for fear. Finally, in all your conflicts, lead with peace, act with restraint and wisdom, always seeking restoration over destruction. I encourage you to reflect on these teachings. Think about a battle you are facing right now. Start by consciously reminding yourself, the Lord my God is with me, He fights for me. Let that truth sink in. These are not just questions. They are invitations from God to live differently. Let these ancient words become a source of modern strength. He has given us everything we need to face our giants. He has provided a model for building strong, compassionate communities. The battles will come, the challenges will arise, but you do not face them alone or unprepared. You have a God who goes with you, a God who fights for you, and a God who has already secured the ultimate victory. Go forward in that truth. Live it out in your daily life. The battle is His. The victory is yours. Please like, share, and subscribe. And